Hello, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. So excited to have everybody here. I just want to apologize up front because I have a house full of kids running around downstairs. So if you hear any in the background, that's just them jumping around. All right. Hello, Chet. Hi, Dennis. Donna, Sandra, Cynthia, thank you all so much. Excellent. We're just going to give a couple of minutes just for people to get online, just getting everybody in before we start. Oh, also to add to it, I've got a landscaping crew right outside my window too, so I have my earbuds in. So just let me know if you have any problem hearing me. You can go into the chat box at the bottom of the screen. And if you have any issues, just put them in there. Just one more minute and then we'll start. So if you need to get yourself a glass of water, water is always good to stay hydrated. We are going to do a short meditation in this gathering. It's always good to do any, always, of course, it's good to be hydrated, but especially doing any kind of meditation or any energy work. It allows for the flow of the energy to happen optimally. Okay. Just going to close this down. And I think we're going to start. And if anybody else comes in later, we'll just pop them in. All right. So first, I just want to say hello and welcome to everybody. Thank you again for being here and for being so generous with your time and investing your time and following your guidance to be here and to share. I am very excited to be here, and I'm very excited to be here at this time, sharing with everyone and being here and supporting everybody in this process at this momentous time in our human history. It's such an exciting time to be alive. There's so many things changing, and you know, we've all been calling for these changes for quite a long time, right? We've all been, quite frankly, just tired of the old systems and the way that everything has been running here on the planet. And our prayers have been answered. And so change is here. And now it's so important more than ever to get grounded and to get clear in who you are, what you want, and be able to make those decisions and those choices with confidence that are going to lead you towards your greatest and your highest timeline, to your greatest potential. And that's what I'm here for, is to support everybody in that. So I'm just going to share my screen, and I'm going to start. Hold on just a moment. All righty.
There we go.
Oh. Hey, Dennis, how are you?
Good. Now I'm fighting with the computer. What else is new?
Do you need any help with anything?
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm good.
You good?
Figured it
Okay.
out. Okay.
Excellent. All right, love, I'm just going to put you on mute for now.
No problem.
Okay. So welcome, everyone. Today, our class is about confident and clear communication with your higher self. This one is near and dear to me in my heart. If any of you were part of my group up in New York, I taught this class twice over a 2-year period. This is fundamental at this time and place now. The understanding that you are so much more than just your physical vessel. You are a multi-dimensional being of spirit that is just contained within the physical vessel so that you can make your way around this physical reality. Your higher self holds all the answers. And so we're going to dive into how to connect with that. So my organization is You Are Source. My name is Daniela Alina Viola. I am an awakening and ascension guide. And for those of you who don't know me, I have been on the more recent awakening path since 2015. I was born intact, where I would have out-of-body experiences, and I remember crying in the crib and finding my mother in the house and just like hanging out on the ceiling, watching her with my older brother, and content to be there. I was always traveling at night to other places and other parallel universes and meeting with my guides. And I wound up around 11 years old. My mother was invited to a psychic seminar and I wanted to go, and she wouldn't let me because I was too young. So I went to the biggest library I could find, and I asked the woman there, my mother's going to psychic seminar. What do? I want to know more. And she introduced me to a section in the library that was all the way in the basement at the very end on the basement floor up against a brick wall. And there was this small section. And in that small section, the nearest thing I could find, at that time it was like Time Life UFO books. They had some Amityville horror. But the only thing I could find that was closest was handwriting analysis. So I started getting into handwriting analysis, and that started me in working with various modalities and divination practices. By the time I was 13, I was doing handwriting analysis, numerology, palm reading. I started dabbling in astrology. And by the time I was 18, I was consulting people using all these various divination tools. And I got into tarot. I got very good at that by the time I was about 15. And life just took over. I got really deep into the programming here on the planet. Work. I came from a very work ethic, workforce kind of family. Went into college, worked 3 jobs, and just got really caught up in the whole programming. And around 2015, I was spit out by the corporate industry. I was hired by the Daily News to help them launch their digital division in 2012, and that fell apart in 2015. And from there, that's where my more recent awakenings began. I just knew that corporate wasn't for me and that there was something much bigger and better for me. And I literally called it in because I was so unhappy with where my life was. And I called it in one night. I remember being out on my deck and having my crystals out in an intuitive grid and just looking up at the stars and saying, I'm ready. I'm ready to ascend. I'm ready. I don't want this anymore. I'm ready for the next thing. And boy, did they listen. I had a couple of huge awakening experiences that just shattered my whole reality. One of them specifically, I was getting up out of bed in the morning and this energetic force came through my body, this inhuman convulsion, just my body inhumanly convulsing. And my guides all came into the room. Their silhouettes surrounded me. And I just was like, wow, what was that? And I just was on this path of awakening, and I kept having more and more experiences like that. And in 2016, I started teaching. So I started coming out, listening to spirit and following my higher self. I like to call them my team in spirit, because in essence, your higher self is you and your team in spirit is also you. You'll find as you go down this path of understanding that all of these various aspects, these angels or these masters, that they're all aspects of you. So in connecting with them, I've been following their guidance, which is really my higher guidance, for about 5 years now. for about 5 years, I've been following it, and it's been a gradual progression and a beautiful progression at that. So it's my great honor and pleasure to share with you what I know and what has helped me. Okay. So my name is, again, Daniela Elena Viola. I am the Lady from Source, and I'm here to remind you that you are a divine, unique expression of Source. You are Source. So whether you want to call it Source, the universal intelligence, you want to call it God, there's many, many names for it. But the bottom line is, it is the start of all creation. It is the energetic force that began creation. And you are part of that. As an awakening and ascension guide, it is my mission to assist the seeker, the awakening heart, in his or her process of coming into wholeness. And that's what this is all about. This connection with your higher self, with your higher team. It's all about bringing in all that frequency, all that energy that is in essence yours, and bringing it into the physical vehicle. In the spiritual community, we used to believe that in order to gain that kind of insight, and in order to connect with those higher levels, that you had to come out of your body, right? You had to meditate and then go out, and then you would grasp whatever information or data or download, and you'd bring it down. And that's not the case anymore. Now it's about, while conscious and being in the physical vessel, bringing in all that higher frequency and vibration and embodying it and maintaining it within the physical vehicle, so that you can receive the higher light intelligence while still in your conscious self. And that's what I'm here also to show you guys and share with you guys how to do that. So it's my great honor and pleasure to guide you into embodying the truth of who you are. So this is a little verbiage here, as you can see, on the higher self. The higher self is the real you. It's the soul consciousness that is so much more than the physical form that you know so well. The higher self is that part of you which is unlimited. It is eternal. It's the part of you that exists, that excites you with inspiration, guides you with intuition, and teaches you through insight gained only with experience. Your intentions, your deepest desires, and most guarded secrets are all well known to your higher self. Your higher self can see 10 steps in the future of your life, knowing exactly what is coming around the bend. The higher self's perspective is exactly that. It's higher. It sees what you cannot see, and it knows what you have not yet been reminded of. Because understand that everything, you know everything. You have everything right inside of you. You don't need anything outside of yourself. So when you come into these knowings, it's really that you're just being reminded. And I think you can get a sense of that. How many times have you heard somebody speak, or you read something and you were like, you know, I knew that already, right? You knew that on a level already. So the higher self connection is a state of transcendent being that is always available to us and much needed at this time upon the earth. It is now more than ever of the utmost importance to know how to ground this higher vibration into the lower energy centers. So when I speak of the lower energy centers, in essence, I'm talking about your energy body, your chakra system. So this is a picture here of the higher self, so you can get a sense of what we're talking about. So at the bottom there, that beautiful little person in the pink, maroon kind of a color, that's you. Above you, the higher self resides about an arm length above. So that's your higher self. And then above the higher self is source energy. Now this is a short diagram. There's a lot more to it than this, but just for the sake of this gathering today, I'm going to keep it simple. So in essence, your higher self there is like the gateway. It's like the gatekeeper between your higher levels and the lower levels. And it's all you. Now, in order to bring in the higher self, it comes through light, pure light intelligence, which comes through source, which in actuality comes through the solar gateway, our Solaris, which is our local sun here. That's actually a portal gateway, which contains the higher light plasmic frequencies of source that travels through space, comes through the portal gateway, and then rains down upon us on the earth. And there's so much to know about that. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later. I'm going to talk to you about a 4-week course that I'm going to propose that gets a little bit more into the mechanics of that and how you can actually utilize this on it in your daily life. But in short, just understand that that higher self is the gateway. It's always there. And that light that's surrounding you there is always there. It's just a matter of letting that light in. We have been programmed and conditioned through our environment, through our families, through the media, through so many different channels to not be sensitive to that and to close that down in a sense. And through this course, I'm going to share with you some tools of how to be able to open yourself up so that you can receive that light that is always there, that will guide you to your highest timeline. So I just wanted to speak a little bit about your soul contract. Each one of us comes into this life with a special purpose, right? With a life mission or soul destiny, however you want to call it, with a particular history and a track record of what we have and what we have not achieved before now. See, when you come into your physical vessel, you come in with contracts, with agreements of what it is that you're coming down here to do. Okay, I'm going to come down, and for me, my purpose is going to be to live in absolute unconditional love. And so you have contracts that are going to support you so that you can embody for yourself through your own unique life force energy, your own unique frequency, what it means for you to live in absolute unconditional love. So we also carry memories, both painful and pleasurable, from other lives. We bring with us patterns. Now, these may be inherited from ourselves, meaning all those selves of you that you've lived over generation, and generation. I know back in the day in the 80s, we used to, in the spiritual community, talk about how, oh, I have a past life. It was the most exciting thing to know you had a past life, because everybody would be asking, do I have past lives? Do I have past lives? In actuality, it's not one past life. It's not even 3 past lives. Chances are that you've lived thousands of past lives, especially if you're on this call with me today. I would venture to guess that you are an old soul and that you have lived thousands upon thousands of lives. The difference between an old soul and a soul that wouldn't be considered an old soul is one that hasn't reincarnated as much. We were all birthed, so to speak, at the same time as vital life force energy of source. However, some chose to reincarnate, to come into the physical, right, on this planet. Others chose to go to other universes or other places. And the more that you kept reincarnating, it's kind of like another tick, another tick, another tick. And when you've had so many of these ticks, so much experience in reincarnating into different physical vessels at different times and places, if you want to call it time, that's the older that you are. It's the more experience you've had in various incarnations. So you may have brought over patterns from past lives that you've lived, and you may inherited them from ancestors. So what happens is, for example, and I always talk to my son about this, whatever difficulties, pains, obstacles, challenges that I have within myself, whether they're negative belief patterns or DNA encodements or past life traumas that I am carrying within me, whatever I don't contend with, whatever I don't resolve, come to peace with, come into alignment with, gets handed down to the next generation. And that keeps happening after generation and after generation after generation. So your ancestors, whatever it is that they didn't handle, that say their kids didn't handle and their kids, and then it comes to you, is up to you to come to some sort of resolution in alignment with. And if you don't, then it just gets handed down to the next in line. So the circumstances of our lives are designed to give us perfect opportunities for our soul's growth and evolution. And the designer of all of these circumstances is your higher self. Your higher self is serving as that gateway. So our higher self understands and knows God, Goddess, the Great Spirit, Source, Universal Intelligence, and downloads it to us as pure light through that light that I showed you in that picture, which then gets processed through the energy body. The practice bringing your higher levels down and into the physical vessel, you'll allow to access your intuitive being and universal knowing. So it's always there. Your higher self is always perpetually downloading information and sharing it to you. It's just a matter of, are you receiving it? Are you open to receiving it? Are you conscious that you have the ability to receive it? Just the very fact that you're conscious that it's there and that you have the God-given birthright to receive it gives you a step forward. It's all about consciousness. Your consciousness in your mind literally dictates your reality. So what you believe is what will show up for you. So if you believe that this is around you all the time and that you can receive it, then chances are you'll start to find in the next few weeks, if you haven't already, that you will start to receive more and more. You'll get intuitive hits, you'll get downloads, you'll get the gut hunches, right? We all understand gut hunches. That's your higher self coming in and saying, hey, go this way, don't go that way. So one of the tools that I use, and I use this every morning, is the unified chakra. And with our higher self light, we're able to change the cells within our body. And as in healing ourselves from physical imbalances or illnesses, we're able to lighten our emotions and choose love over fear, harmony over disharmony. And we're able to change the content of the thought forms in our minds. And I find that the unified chakra meditation serves so well for this, because literally what it's doing is it's almost like a Russian nesting doll. You ever see the Russian nesting dolls? So on the very, very inside is your physical body. Then the next nesting doll on top of that is your emotional body. Then the next nesting doll is the mental body. And then the next is the spiritual body. And then the next is the I am presence. And then the next is the oversoul, then the Christ oversoul. And then the next one over that is source. So when you keep bringing in as this, and we're going to do this meditation in just a moment, as you keep bringing in consciously and commanding forth the unification of your chakras. There are actually 7 chakras inside the body, 5 outside the body. And the last one extends up about 40 feet, your last chakra actually outside your body, above you. So as you bring more and more of it down and you unify the chakras, the alignment is there, and then you can receive more and more intuition, more and more downloads. And you start to, I know for myself, after doing it for a couple of months, I started walking around just feeling and sensing the greater part of me that's actually outside of me. Now when I walk around, it's not just me in this physical vessel walking around, it's a whole host of aspects of me that are in my fields, what they call the fields of intelligence. They call it the quantum field of intelligence. It's constantly communicating with the physical body. And understand that the physical body is a product of these information fields. It's not the other way around. It's not that the physical body creates the information fields. It's the information fields that holds the template of the physical body. So the more connected that you all are, the more empowered, the more aligned, the more ease and grace in your life, the more synchronicities, the more support that you receive, the more of those circumstances that just pop up that are just serving you. Say, oh, wow, look at that. I was just thinking of that and it came to me. Or, oh my God, this is exactly what I needed exactly at this time. That's all because of the alignment within your fields. Very, very exciting. So we're going to go into this meditation and I'm going to guide you guys through it. So I invite you to get comfortable and to sit back or lay down so long as you can hear me, whatever you need. And close your eyes. I'm going to do a little breath work just to open up our energy centers. And what I invite you to do is take a nice deep belly breath in through the nose and then hold for 4 seconds. So deep breath in, 2, 3, 4, and out through the mouth. And if you can make a little bit of a sound from the back of your throat, that's a yogic practice that helps even more with opening up. So one more time, nice deep belly breath in through the nose. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Completely emptying the lungs. And one more time, deep breath in from the belly, in the nose. 2, 3, 4. And completely let go. Scan your body, feel how relaxed you are. And give yourself permission to get even more relaxed. Ease into your seat. Allow the bed or the chair to support you. Feel your connection, your body getting heavier and heavier. And so we begin. I breathe in light through the center of my heart, opening my heart into a beautiful ball of light, a sun, a star, allowing myself to expand. I breathe in light through the center of my heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing my throat chakra and my solar plexus chakra in one unified field of light within, through, and around my body, allowing my body to open. I breathe in light through the center of my heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing my brow chakra and my navel chakra in one unified field of light within, through, and around my body, allowing my body to open even further. I breathe in light through the center of my heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing my crown chakra and my base chakra in one unified field of light within, through, and around my body. I breathe in light through the center of my heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing my alpha chakra, 8 inches above my head, and my omega chakra, 8 inches below my spine, in one unified field of light within, through, and around my body. I allow the waves of Metatron to move between these 2 points. I am a unity of light. I breathe in light through the center of my heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing my 8th chakra above my head and my upper thighs in one unified field of light within, through, and around my body. I allow my emotional body to merge with my physical body. I am a unity of light. I breathe in light through the center of my heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing my 9th chakra and my lower thighs in one unified field of light within, through, and around my body. I allow my mental body to merge with my physical body. I am a unity of light. I breathe in light through the center of my heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing my 10th chakra above my head and to my knees in one unified field of light within, through, and around my body. I allow my spiritual body to merge with my physical body, creating the unified field of light. I am a unity of light. I breathe in light through the center of my heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing my 11th chakra and my upper calves in one unified field of light within, through, and around my body. I allow the oversoul to merge with the unified field. I am a unity of light. I breathe in light through the center of my heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing my 12th chakra and my lower calves in one unified field of light, within, through, and around my body. I allow the Christ oversoul to merge with the unified field. I am a unity of light. I breathe in light through the center of my heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing my 13th chakra and my feet in one unified field of light, within, through, and around my body. I allow the I am oversoul to merge with the unified field. I am a unity of light. I breathe in light through the center of my heart, allowing the light to expand, encompassing my 14th chakra and to below my feet in one unified field of light, within, through, and around my body. I allow the Source's presence, the Holy Shekinah, to move throughout the unified field. I am a unity of light. I breathe in light through the center of my heart. I ask that the highest level of who I am radiate forth from the center of my heart, filling this unified field completely. I radiate forth throughout this day. I am a unity of spirit. I invite you all to wiggle your toes and move your fingers, and at your own pace come back into the room. You might want to yawn or stretch or I am interested to hear if any of you wish to share your experience of that. If you like, you can unmute yourself, or if you want to raise your hand. If everybody's just so stunned by how amazing that was, I could just continue. That's fine. I'll take that you guys all just enjoyed that so much. So if you want to get some water, I'm just going to sip some water. All right, so we will continue. So let's get into some teachings and tools now that we've been versed a bit on the higher self and the purpose of the higher self and how we can access the higher self. So I know you guys probably have heard this a million times before, but meditation is priceless. Stilling the mind and the body allows you to access the non-tangible parts of you that have all the answers. So the more that you are still in the mind, the more the answers will come. So I know I just posted this out not too long ago on Facebook, but there is the image of the still lake in front of a mountain, right? So you have this beautiful mountain, then you've got this very still lake. And what happens is the mountain's transmission of its truth comes right through the stillness of that water. And you can see the mountain just as perfectly as if you're just looking with your eyes through that reflection in the water. And this is what always runs through me when I think about meditation. Many people, including myself for years, meditated completely the wrong way. Meditation is about going into the void, the no mind. And I know there's many different modalities and ways of going about doing that, but the essence is that you get the mind completely still. You go into the void, into the no mind space. And in that no mind space, that's where you are an open, unformed vessel, right? Because when you have thoughts, that's forming energy in your head. But if you are completely still, it's like this potentiality that's right there in your mind, and it becomes a receptor and it just receives. So for myself, when I go into meditation and I get myself into that still quiet space, I start getting downloads of information. Things just start coming through. I'm not grasping for them. I'm not trying to figure them out. I'm just receiving them. Sometimes they make sense and sometimes they don't make sense. But there's a whole practice to meditation, and I'm definitely going to do a class on that. And also in the 4-week program, I'm going to talk to you guys about at the end. That's going to be an integral part, is teaching and coaching how to get into that no mind space. So intention is everything. Again, like I said in the beginning, it's just setting that intention that this is what you want to do, setting the intention to your higher self and team and spirit, saying, let's merge, let's come together. I'm ready to receive. I'm ready to open. I'm ready to embody. And setting that intention daily, morning, night, whenever you can remember to, setting the intention that this is the next step in your path, is receiving that higher guidance, getting that clear communication from your higher levels. So starting and ending each day by visualizing your higher self, bringing in the conscious awareness. So you could just visualize that. One of the tools that I use is a tool of neutrality that helps me when I'm especially challenged. So like say with my child or my spouse or with annoying neighbors or what have you, is I go into a space of neutrality. And in that space of neutrality, I'm literally projecting my consciousness outside myself to like a thought bubble. And I see my little head floating up there, and my head's looking down and is watching and witnessing what's happening. They call this being the witness. And that place of neutrality and that place of witnessing helps you to open up your conscious awareness. So you can visualize yourself, starting each day, visualizing yourself in that state, visualizing you up here, having that higher standpoint as your higher self, and looking down and observing what's happening from a place of neutrality, so that you're absent of, say, negative thought patterns and belief systems that you may have. And you could see things from a higher perspective as your higher self. So self-care and love, I can't tell you how important this is. In order for us to receive that energy and that light from our higher selves, in order to be the open receiver of that light that's always there, it's all about unconditional love. God, source, universal intelligence, this universe that we live in is built on universal love, unconditional love. So when you emanate and radiate unconditional love, you are literally opening a channel by which to receive that unconditional love in that light intelligence that's always around you. So how do you start doing that? Well, it starts with you always. Self-love. If you love yourself, then you know what love is, and therefore you can receive love and give love. You can't truly receive love or give love unless you love yourself. So practicing self-love, doing things for yourself just because you love it every day. One thing a day, and do it with intention. Say, you know, today I'm going to take a warm bath because I love myself. I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to nurture myself. I'm going to eat this fresh green organic salad because I love myself. I'm going to go out into nature and take a hike because I'm showing myself that I love myself. I care for myself. Just doing little things like that, doing one a day with intention, commanding and speaking it out, which is my next point, to command and speak it out, creates the vibrational space of giving and receiving. It also communicates to your energy fields what your intention is. There is in the Bible, you know, that everything started with the Word, and the Word was God. And that is so true. Everything starts with vibration. Nikola Tesla spoke of it. One of his greatest quotes is, if you want to understand the universe, you got to think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency, because that's really the beginning of everything. And that happens first and foremost through cymatics, which is the understanding and the practice of the understanding of the mechanics of sound, and how sound creates light, and then light creates matter, and so on and so forth. So talking out and commanding out is a great way to condition the space to be able to receive the downloads of information that you're looking for. So building trust. This practice is all about trust. And that was a hard lesson for me specifically. I can speak for myself, that trusting the guidance, you know, because the guidance comes in and then you're questioning it, right? You're like, well, is that really good? Isn't good? Should I do that? I don't know. It doesn't seem right. It doesn't feel right. Well, most of the time, the reason why it doesn't feel right is because you're not used to taking that road. It's the unknown, you know, that trust factor of allowing and trusting the answers that come to you. It's a big one. It's one of faith. It's one of knowing that everything in this universe and everything that's happening is happening for you. It's not happening to you. It's happening for you. It's always to serve you. There is no such thing as coincidence. Coincidence is just reason unfounded. Coincidence really doesn't exist. Everything has a purpose and a reason, and it's all in divine timing. It truly is. I can assure you of this, because for the longest time, I really didn't believe that. And then once I really started getting into the knowing space of that and experiencing that for myself, that's when the floodgates started to happen. That's when everything started to flow. It's because I trusted it and I moved forward. And again, speaking for myself right now in my life, you know, I was called by spirit to move from New York, my home, for 40 something years. And I left New York and I moved down to Florida because spirit was telling me to do it. And I was trusting it. Now, here's the thing. In that process is also the process of questioning. So it's not that, you know, you get some hit and then you just say, okay, I'm going to go with this. But you can say, well, all right, spirit, higher self, you're telling me that this is the move I should make. Give me confirmation of that. Show me again. Confirm for me one more time that this is what I should do. And that's what I kept doing. I kept saying, all right, well, you keep telling me this, but show me one more time. And so through some other channel, a confirmation will come. It could come through a conversation, something over here, something that all of a sudden resonates with you, something you see in a book, on a TV, anything. And it'll come in and you'll know it. And you'll say, that's another one of them telling me that, yes, this is what I should do. And if you still don't feel 100% with it, you can ask for another. You can keep asking for confirmation. They will always answer you. The higher self, your team and spirit will always answer you. So building that trust and asking for the confirmation. So grounding and feeling into the body, especially us people, light workers and star seeds and wanderers, you know, we're so out here, right? So out in the ethers. And what it is that all of that light intelligence that's always there and always downloading to you, it's like electric. Electric needs to be grounded in order to be effective. you're the same way. You need to be grounded in order for that light intelligence to run through you, where you can sense it, feel it, perceive it, and follow it. So being grounded daily is a practice that we all should do. I start off every day grounding, doing my unified chakra and some other practices, just to condition my space, keep myself grounded, and keep myself aligned. One thing that you could do really quickly, and you can actually do it here with me. We could do a short exercise, show you how to ground. So what I'm going to do is right here, right about 2 inches below my belly button is your tandian. And that is like your core. So you can imagine at your tandian, and I invite you to do this. You can sit up, sit at the edge of your seat, and go to your tandian 2 inches below your belly button. Everybody feel that? Two inches below your belly button at your tandian. It's a little space right there. Put your fingers there and imagine a golden ball of light. And then you could take that golden ball of light and you can extend it down through your perineum, down through your base, right straight down into the earth. And see that golden ball of light stretching, going all the way down into the earth, pushing through the rock, the stone, the mud, all the way into the core of Gaia, the core of our Mother Earth. And at the same time, once you're down there, then take your feet. That should be, if they're not flat on the floor, just make sure they're not crossed. And imagine your legs and your feet as beautiful, shining, white tree trunks. It's beautiful, effervescent white light. And extend those tree trunks through the soles of your feet, all the way into the earth as well. So now you've got your golden light from your tandian, 2 inches below your belly button, extending all the way down into the earth. And now you have your tree trunks of golden white light, or I should say effervescent white light, going all the way down, all the way into the earth. And take a nice deep breath in and breathe out through the feet, through the legs and through the feet, through the soles, all the way into the earth. And just feel that grounding, solid, stable sense of being. I know for myself right now, I feel tremendously stable right now. And just to add a little bit more to it, you can breathe up the energy of the earth. The earth's energy is a silvery kind of color. So now that your roots from the soles of your feet and your legs and your tandian is down there, you can breathe up with your next inhalation, breathe up the silver light right up your tree trunks and your tandian cord. And breathe it all the way up and in, right up into the tandian. And just sense and feel into her energy. I know for myself, it feels very nourishing, very calming, feeling tingling in my feet, a little bit of more weight at the bottom of my feet where I'm connected to the floor. And I could feel the energy moving up through my legs, just some tingles. This is a very simple grounding technique. You could use it anytime. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take from the tandian, that golden ball 2 inches below, and you're going to pull that golden ball into a light, pulling up, up, up through your torso, up to your heart. And now you're going to continue pulling it up through the heart. Your heart, let's illuminate our hearts right there before we continue pulling it. So allow that golden light to flood through all the chambers of your heart, surrounding your heart in a beautiful golden ball of light. We'll also have a little bit of silver in there from the earth. And now you're going to continue pulling it up, 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 right up through the throat, through the head, through the brain, the third eye, right up the crown. And just imagine that this golden, silvery, effervescent light now is shooting up through your crown and cascading out 360 degrees, like a waterfall, like a rainbow waterfall, just in all directions, 360 degrees, creating almost like a cocoon around you. We're now flooding ourselves with the energy of Gaia through our ascension column, right? Through that center point, right up through the crown, through the toroidal fields. These are your toroidal fields, your energetic fields. Moving up and around, then going up again through the perineum, through the ascension column, the center of the body, up through the crown. And just feel into that, what that feels like for you. Nice and grounding. Beautiful. Thank you. How are we all doing? You can just give me a thumbs up if everything's good. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for that. Beautiful. Thank you. Yes. So grounding, very important. This takes you a few minutes. You could start off the day. And then during your day, what you could do is just imagine red light, right, from your base chakra, and just send some red light down into the earth and receive some red light just to keep yourself grounded really quick. You could do it walking to your car, right? You could do it at any time. So another teaching tool is asking yourself, whatever it is that you're dealing with at any given moment, is this coming from love or is this coming from fear? It's very important to ask yourself that question because our fields are morphogenic, meaning they're always shifting, always changing. And guess what it is that's changing it? It's your thoughts and your emotions. It's actually the judgments of your thoughts that are causing the emotional reaction. Your mind is electric, your heart is magnetic. So what your mind is thinking is literally electrifying your bioenergetic electric fields. And then your emotional reaction to that is what magnetizes the reality, magnetizes the people and the places and the circumstances and situations into your life. So this is a big cookie, you know, to deal with, to digest. So just in short, for the purposes of this workshop today, just ask yourself, if what I'm thinking, is it coming from love or is it coming from fear? I remember years ago, there was a gentleman that, and I still follow him, James Van Praagh. He wrote the book, Talking to Heaven. He wrote a series of these books. And he had said something that resonated with me. It was the first one I heard it from, was everything in your life comes from one of two places. Everything. It either comes from love or it comes from fear. And that's very true. I apply that to my life constantly. This thought that I'm thinking, this decision I'm making, this choice that I'm choosing, am I choosing it out of a space of love or am I choosing it out of a space of fear? If you're choosing it out of a place of fear, that's not in your highest and best good, because that's a fear reaction, which is going to just create more fear. But if you're choosing it from a place of love, then you know that's choosing it in alignment with your highest and greatest good and in alignment with your highest self. If you're choosing to do something out of pure love, pure compassion, pure understanding, pure patience, pure kindness, then you're in alignment. If you're deciding to make that choice because you're afraid of something, you're afraid of an outcome, you're afraid of what might happen if you don't, that's a big one that comes up a lot. It's like, but I'm making that choice because I'm afraid of what might happen if I don't do it. That's something to dig deeper into. Is it coming from love, or is it coming from fear? And if it's coming from fear, what are you so afraid of? Understanding and questioning that. Like, I have what I call a wound journal. I'm a big journal diary person. I write constantly in there in order to ground out what's happening within my body, within my mind, and in my heart, so I can make room for more, so I can keep the flow of energy going. So I express it through my writing, through these journals, and I have wound journals. And when I get triggered by something, say I get angry or I get mad, I say to myself, well, I'm obviously getting mad because I'm fearing something, because it always comes down to either love or fear. I'm not getting mad because of love. I'm getting mad because of fear. So what am I afraid of? All right, well, I'm getting mad at my child because he's not doing, his schoolwork. All right, well, what am I afraid of? Well, I'm afraid that he won't do it. Well, what's so fearful about him not doing it? Well, I'm afraid that, if he doesn't do it, then he's not going to get his work done. Well, what's so bad? What's so fearful about that? Well, if he doesn't get his work done, then that means I'm not doing my job as a teacher. Well, then what am I so afraid of about that? Well, then if I'm not doing my job as a teacher, then I'm a bad mom. And then I just got down to it. That's what my fear is, being a bad mom. So I write these things in my journal. And this way I'm clear about what my fear is. And then I start saying, well, am I really a bad mom? No, I know I'm not really a bad mom. So I can kind of kibosh that whole idea. And so this is, again, raising your consciousness, raising your awareness. It's doing the inner work, whether you want to call it shadow work, inner child work. And by raising your conscious awareness of yourself, you are coming into alignment with your higher beingness. You're making space for the higher beingness to come in. Because like I said to you earlier about how you want to bring all that high energy in. Well, it's not about bringing all the high energy in down to the low density levels. It's also about raising your consciousness, raising your awareness, actively engaging in your awakening into your wholeness of being, which is going to raise your vibration so that you can meet those higher levels, so those higher levels can stream in more fully. So that was my next thing, raise your vibration, very important. And your vibration is dictated, again, by your thoughts and by your emotional responses to those thoughts. So that's really good work to get engaged in. So breath work. Breath work we did just a little bit before. And I know for myself, whenever I engage in any kind of breath work, and there's all sorts of different modalities, you could YouTube it, go on Google, different kinds of breath work. It literally, as you breathe, you open up the channels. And you'll find many times just by doing some good, deep belly breath work, things will come up, emotional things will come up. And that's all helping you to clear. Because in our energetic fields, there are literally like ley lines, energetic grids in our fields. And distorted belief systems, patterns, addictions, things of this nature get stuck. And it's what they call entanglement. They get entangled. And then you're receiving that higher level energy and light intelligence gets caught up in those tangles and does not get effectively communicated to you. So breath work will definitely help as well to open it up so you can get those higher intuitive hits. If anybody has a question, feel free to raise your hand. Or just if you want to unmute yourself, you can unmute yourself if you have a question. So the next is nature and forest bathing. I love nature. I love forest bathing, just getting out there because nature has a natural high vibrational frequency. And when you go in there, again, with intention and commanding forth that you're going there to receive higher guidance, you're going there to raise your vibration, just setting that intention and especially speaking it out loud and then taking the physical action to do that brings you way into alignment. Alignment is all about mind, body, heart as one, meaning as I think, so I feel, as I do. So if what you're thinking and what you're feeling and what you're doing are all aligned, that's magic. That's when the hits come in. That's when you're able to get into that space and then start asking the questions. And that's my next thing, is ask yourself something you're trying to decide in this format. Higher self, is it most beneficial for me to do whatever it is right now? Higher self, is it most beneficial for me to move to Colorado in the next 6 months? Higher self, is it most beneficial for me to call Charlie right now? Higher self, is it, you know, best for me to buy this house in this town? So on and so forth. The more specific that you can get, the better it is. And you can put yourself into that state, again, like of neutrality, of the mind, body, spirit alignment, and ask the question. And when you ask the question, you want to get yourself into that no mind space, right? Into that clear place of neutrality. And you want to breathe and get your breath into a nice rhythm. And then you just literally want to sit and wait. You don't want to try to figure out the answer. You don't want to grasp for the answer. You want the answer to come to you. So again, if you're in that place of neutrality and you've done some breath work and you're grounded, you can literally just open up your fields to receive that light intelligence that's always around you. You have everything right inside you. It's just a matter of tapping into it. So breathing, grounding, put yourself into the no mind state. You could put yourself into the no mind state by just focusing on something. Like I could focus just like on the red of this, or I could focus just on a crystal or on a candle. You could focus on a candle and just get yourself into a place of stillness. You could focus on a flower, or you can focus on really just any item that you want. Hold on just a second. Yes? Okay. Okay, thank you. You can go that way.
No, I mean, yeah.
Okay, grab what you need, and then you can come back in later when I'm done with my class, okay? All right, thank you. See you later. Sorry about that. Okay, so you can focus on any single point and bring yourself into stillness. And once you bring yourself into stillness, ask the question and just wait to receive. Now, here's the thing. You may not get the answer right away. Sometimes I don't get the answer right away. Other times it'll come in as a feeling, or it may come in as a vision. It may come in as an understanding. Excuse me a second. I need you to wait. So it may come in as any one of those, as a feeling, as a thought, as an understanding, and it may not come in at all, in which case that's fine. The answer will come to you. It will come to you through a synchronicity, a person, a place, something that someone might say. For me, for the longest time, it was butterflies. I had butterflies, I had feathers, I had all different kinds of, I had feathers, butterflies, and then I also had a time where it was, what do they call them? There were these little praying mantises, and they would come in and they would answer me. And I knew that when a butterfly, for example, came by, that they had something to offer me, and I would literally just stare into the butterfly or surrender myself into the butterfly. And by doing that, I would get my answers. But it could come through a book, again, a conversation. Just be open to it. So what I'd like to do is introduce you guys into pendulum work. Does anybody here have a pendulum or have used a pendulum before? If yes, put a thumbs up. Awesome. Yes, I love pendulum work. So this is a pendulum that I use. This pendulum, all right, hold on just a second, just a moment. Apologies. I got a house full of kids here. Okay. So this pendulum, pendulum could be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be a crystal. There are some made of wood. There's some made of stone. I even know of, you could do makeshift pendulums, just like a string with, say, like a heavy piece of metal or a screw at the end of it. And pendulums work in such a beautiful way. They literally pick up the energy and will answer questions that you may have. So on a baseline, it's a yes or no question. So if you are between a rock and a hard place and you're just not sure and you want some confirmation, you can ask a pendulum. You can program, first it would be advisable for you to attune yourself to the pendulum and program the pendulum. For me, I have singing bowls. So I have this one and I also have a crystal one, and I put them in there and I use the singing bowl around it. You can also use, I don't have it in here, but like a frequency tuning fork also will work. But even something just as simple as putting it in your hand and stating your intention to attune to the pendulum, and putting it in your hand, and then imagining white light coming through your hand chakras into it, cleansing, clearing, and purifying it, asking it to attune to you. And you can bring it to your heart to clear it. There's so many different ways. Just use your intuition as to how you want to cleanse and clear it and to attune yourself to it. And then you can ask it a question. So for me, for example, like if let me say, I'm just going to ask it a very obvious question. Am I Daniela Alina Viola? And then it starts to give me a yes. And there are pendulum charts online. You could do something as simple as just asking it to show you what yes is, show me what no is. And by asking it yes or no, it'll show you. So if I go like this, I don't know if you guys can see this here. They show me no. Yeah, and then it starts to move across like this, showing me no. And this is a great way to get confirmation. And there's lots of information online that you guys can use to get more versed on pendulums. I'm going to dive more deeply into pendulums in my 4-week course that I'll be talking about, as well as the muscle testing. But I do use it as a confirmation tool. Just if I feel that I need that extra oomph of yes or no. The other thing is muscle testing. And I absolutely love muscle testing. I've been using it for about 4 years now. Who here is familiar with muscle testing? Anybody? Let me see, hold on a second. Okay. So? Yes. Muscle testing, and that's the thing I wanted to bring up too about both of these. Both the pendulum and the muscle testing, you need to come into a true state of neutrality, because your intention or your desire in your mind or in your heart will literally alter the energy. That's how strong and powerful that we are as divine creators, is your energy will literally shift. So even if truly the answer is no, but if you really want it to be yes, it's going to show you yes. So it's a fine line of making sure that you're in a complete state of neutrality, where you're not looking to see if it's a yes or a no. You're looking for it to just show you the truth. So you might want to just set that intention to just show me the truth. I'm ready for the truth, and it will show you the truth. If you want too much for it to be one way or another, it will go that way. So this is also with muscle testing. So the form of muscle testing that I use mostly is I take my thumb and my middle finger, and then I take my other thumb and my middle finger and I loop it through like that. See that? Thumb and middle finger, thumb and middle finger. And I ask a question. So again, I'll ask, you know, is my name Daniela? And it doesn't come off, but then I say, is my name Charlie? And then it's weaker. See, this is an awesome, it's very scientific. I mean, that's what I love about these kinds of tools, is when you get down to it, it's very scientific. Your body automatically knows already what's good for it and what isn't good for it, what aligns and what doesn't align. So when you ask a question of it and it's a yes, your body will stand firm in that yes. If it's a no, if it's out of alignment, the body literally gets weaker. Your fields get weaker. So that's why, like, if you get into an argument with somebody, you might be pumped up, but your fields are actually weaker. And that's what causes holes and tears in the energy fields. So with the muscle testing, if you ask a question that is affirmative for you and aligned, your strength will keep it together. But if you ask something that is out of alignment or is not good for you, that it would cause weakness for you, your body will go weak in it. So if I ask myself, I live in Florida, if I say I live in Colorado, like right away, it just gets weak. It's a fine line. So you got to play around with it. Like, play around with that a little bit. Ask yourself your name and see what that feels like for you. And then ask yourself, obviously, a different name that's not your name, and see what that feels like for you. And allow it to just be a feeling. Don't, again, it's being neutral. Does anybody have a question, or anybody want to share anything about? Let's see if I can unmute you.
Okay, I did it. Did you hear me?
Hi, Carol. Yes, how are
Hi.
you?
So it's not about the muscle testing. It's something you said before, and you said sound creates light. Sound, so I'm not sure if I get that.
It starts
I
with
understand.
sound. Yeah, I'm not going to get too much into it in this class, but yes, sound actually creates light, because sound creates energy, and then energy creates light. So there's, for example, there are scientists out there that create technology through sound. So if you get a certain vibrational frequency, are you familiar with like binaural beats?
Not that familiar, no.
Okay. Yes, certain sounds create certain frequencies. Those frequencies, if those frequencies become a pattern, right, and it forges a repeated pattern over and over and over again, it starts to come into form, and form is what creates matter, right? So something, you know, if you find it intriguing, and this is also something I'm going to get into more in the 4-week class that I'm going to be talking about. But if you're interested, you could definitely, you know, look that up, Google it. There's tons of information out there, but try not to get lost in the sea of information.
I know.
But yes, just like it said in the Bible, everything started, you know, with the word, and the word is God, right? So that's like in meditation, the sound of creation is oh, right? So everything starts with the sound, right?
Thank you.
Hope that helped.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes. Yes, Dennis.
Can I use this to help connect to my higher self?
Can you lift it up a little higher for me so I could see it? Oh, yes, absolutely.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm one step ahead of the game, I guess, right?
Yeah, you already know the answer to that, though.
I just had to ask, you know.
Yeah, beautiful. Absolutely. You can meditate on that, stare into that, use it as your single point of focus, and print it in your mind. Think upon it during the day, call it in, use your intention. However you intuitively feel called to utilize it. Absolutely.
I didn't know what it was. Somebody gave it to me. My last coach, I call my life coach. You know, you're my life coach now. Said it's a very powerful thing. And I'm like, okay, so but what does it do? And until I saw it, so now I know.
Now you know. Yes.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's move on. So just in short, your tools: building a relationship, talking to and commanding HS is your higher self, right? Always with love and gratitude, right? So when you command forth, like I'm, you know, I say it to myself all the time that I call in forth my higher self, my Christed self, my mighty I am presence and pure source consciousness into my body and beingness. I command forth assistance with clearing and cleansing this room. I mean, I command forth so much, always with love and gratitude. Thank you. I love you. I honor you. I bless you, right? Whatever works for you in that. Doesn't have to be those exact words, but this is what you keep working with the fields, and you keep working with those frequencies, and those frequencies will come in stronger and stronger. Stillness in nature, breath work, meditation, the unified chakra, being mindful of your thoughts, right? Grounding, muscle testing in neutrality, and pendulum work in neutrality. These are your starting tools for getting the answers and feeling confident in your choices and knowing that they're leading you towards your highest timeline. So I just wanted to wrap this segment up by sharing with you. Know this, that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. You are limitless and you are timeless. You are a powerful, infinite creator being of source. You have a life's purpose, and you have a mission that your soul set out for you in this lifetime, so as to serve your soul's expansion. You have a unique gift to offer this world. It is your life's purpose and soul's destiny in this lifetime to offer this in its fullest expression. So my name is Daniela Alina Viola, as I said before. I'm the lady from Source, here to remind you that you are Source. And as an awakening and ascension guide, it is my mission to assist the seeker, the awakening heart, in his or her process of coming into wholeness. And it is my great honor and pleasure to guide you in embodying the truth of who you are. Does anybody have any questions? Let me just double check. Okay. So what I'd like to do is just thank you all so much again for being here. Just a couple of things before we wrap it up for today. You can join the family, the Facebook group, You Are Source Collective. There's daily inspiration and support for your journey there. There's also, I post out my weekly free by donation workshops. I do offer private coaching and mentoring. I do specialize in soul contracts and understanding family karmic monads. So if you are curious, you feel that you are driven to live your life's purpose, you're not quite sure what that is, I can guide that through for you in a soul contract reading that is a 90-minute recorded session for us to sit down, and we get down to what your soul purpose, your life mission is here. And I also do work with children and family and karmic monads to understand, you know, why these people are in your life and who's triggering what and what the life lessons are, so that you can come into alignment with your family unit in a more beautiful, aligned way. I also do private channeled healings. I work with your higher self and your team in spirit, and channel through what it is that you are ready to release and let go of, so that as you peel back the layers of illusion, delusion, programming, negative belief systems, ancestral past life traumas, so on and so forth, as you peel all that back, your vital life force energy gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and you come into wholeness. So if you're interested with that, you can reach out to me. I also do quantum field light frequency therapy, and that's utilizing quantum field technology to assist and support you in maintaining and sustaining a higher vibrational frequency, bringing you more into alignment and clearing and cleansing your fields out so you can receive more of that photonic light intelligence in a more aligned way. My website is yoursource.co. My Facebook is You Are Source Official, and this is my email, ladyfromsource@youaresource.co. So I do accept donations. They are accepted with love and gratitude. I do accept via Venmo. It is the ladyfromsource@youaresource.co. Email or username. With PayPal, it's friends and family, please, only please. And that is Danielle Viola at the PayPal me. So it's PayPal me/DannyLynn V2003. And I also receive Zelle or Chase Quick Pay under this email address, danielle.viola.ny@gmail.com. So I wanted to just talk to you guys just briefly about this 4-week online workshop that I'm offering. This is the Path of Empowerment, following the voice within towards your greatest version. It is a 4-week immersive online transformational workshop. So this meets once a week for 4 weeks. We're going to go deeper into the practices with more advanced tools and processes that will transform your life experience. This is all about building a strong and stable connection to one's multidimensional beingness, the higher self, and the team and spirit. We will work with pineal gland DNA activation on 7 levels. There are 7 levels, chakras within each gland. We will activate each one of the chakras within the gland, bring it into optimal functionality. There will be group healings to clear fear, karma, and past life traumas. It will increase intuition and the development of one's clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience. I will teach you how to cleanse, clear, and maintain a harmonious and receptive energy body, meaning keeping your chakras open and maintaining. So you may receive pure light intelligence through the light body. We'll also get into a little bit about light body and light body activation. Through this workshop, we'll work on deepening self-love and opening the channels of giving and receiving, which are very, very important. And you'll experience a whole new and exciting level of freedom, fulfillment, self-love, confidence, abundance, and joy. And you'll take advantage of an arsenal of helpful meditations, tools, and techniques that will transform your life. So this is a live group working session. It will meet once a week for 4 weeks. There'll be a private Facebook group forum just for this group, where we'll be able to share and also work with each other on the various tools, techniques, and practices that we will be learning about. Each class will be recorded and posted on the group page. There'll be daily and weekly practices, tools, and techniques to help you build your proficiency. And each week we will build upon the next. So there'll be various practices that, you know, you'll team up with somebody and you'll practice on each other. And then you'll be able to come in during the working session and ask any questions. You can even ask questions on the Facebook forum. I'll be on there every day, multiple times a day, to answer any questions, to help support you in any of the tools and practices or any blocks that may come up. I will tell you that blocks will come up, and we will work through them through that 1 month, 4-week process. So you'll come out of the class more empowered to make your choices, grounded in your truth, more clear as to what you truly want, and aligned to your unique path and soul's growth expansion. So if you are interested, you can email me at ladyfromsource@youaresource.co. The investment for this is just $111, and it really is a steal. It really is a giveaway. It's a little bit more than $25 per week. But I feel a very deep call to provide this work at this time. It is very integral to the awakening and the ascension of the planet. And I got to tell you, my team came in and said, that's the number. I kept asking about different numbers, and they said, no, this is the number. So I'm following spirit without hesitation, and I'm offering it at this investment level. So again, I love you all. Thank you all so much for being here with me. I will be posting this up on the Facebook group page, You Are Source Collective. So if you are not already on that Facebook group and you're okay with being on Facebook, please do go on there to You Are Source Collective and just ask to join, and I will admit you in. If you are not a Facebook person, that's fine too. Hit me an email and we'll work around it, and I'll just send you the materials directly if that's more comfortable for you. So does anybody have any questions or anything at all before we say goodbye for the day? No? You're very welcome. Much love. I hope you got a lot out of it. I know I did. Thank you so much for being here, because it helps me to fulfill my purpose in serving everyone in this time of awakening and ascension. Much love. Be well.